Hey there everybody, it's Mark Crowley. I'm back with another message to my subscribers video, and as usual I will be getting a little work done as I talk to you and answer some of the questions that I've had lately. This panel that I'm working on is from Brody's Ghost Book 3, which should be out by late winter, early spring, is my best guess at this stage. As soon as I get the actual release date, I'll be sure to let you all know. This is a scene in which Brody and Talia, you really can't see them from this distance. They're up on a rooftop having another dramatic conversation, and I can't say anything more about that, but sort of planning their next move, I guess, is the best thing we can say. But let's go ahead and answer the first question. It comes from Animal46, and I'm going to try something a little different with this video and actually show you the question before I answer it. All right, so that's a great question. Did I do a lot of doodles and sketches when I was in high school? And the answer, of course, is yes, absolutely. I was drawing all the time, even in class when I probably should not have been doing that. You know, we artistic types, it's very hard to resist the desire to doodle. And I've shown you a lot of different things over the years, you know, of different drawing styles, but I don't think I've ever shown you casual doodles that I've done. So I have actually prepared that. I'm going to show you just a quick little slideshow of 5 or so different doodles that I did, mainly in high school, early college. So let's have a look at it. All right, so there you see an example of what my doodles are like. What did you think of that last one, the skateboard guy? Dude! So you can see, now everyone knows, it goes all the way back to my high school years, my obsession with the word dude. Anyway, I think, you know, those are not beautiful drawings. That's the whole point, isn't it, right, of doodling? You're not really taking yourself too seriously. You're just sort of goofing around and seeing what happens. I thought you'd get a kick out of seeing that one. And then also back from the Reagan era. Reagan reincarnated as a fish. Please don't ask me what that one was all about, because I still have no idea. Let's move on to the next question. So, yeah, another great question, you know, is it possible to learn how to draw manga just at home? Do you need to go to some fancy school to learn how to do this stuff? And I would say definitely most people, to my knowledge, are learning this stuff at home. I'm not even aware. Are there specialty courses in how to draw in the manga style? If they are, they're probably pretty expensive. You know, from what I've been told, the art colleges are among some of the most expensive in the nation. So think long and hard before you make the decision that you want to go to a specialty art school, because it can be quite a financial commitment. I didn't go to such a place. I went to just an ordinary, a very excellent liberal arts college, Kalamazoo College, but they did not, you know, their art program was not super special or something famous across the country. So I would say definitely you can learn this stuff on your own. You may almost have to when it comes to manga. And the main thing is to be serious about it and study from the actual published manga. I teach you everything I can in my videos, but there's no replacement for the actual real manga artists themselves. And if you study their work closely enough, they can be your best teachers. So yeah, I think definitely you can learn all this stuff at home. Let's go on to the next question. All right, so that's a really fascinating question there about Miki. If Miki, the main character in Miki Falls, is based off of my wife, does that mean that the hero, the male character, is based off of me? Well, first of all, I have to clarify that I don't know if we can really say that the main character Miki is based off of my wife. I think I sort of named her in honor of my wife. And so I really was not thinking at all of Hiro being a stand-in for me, because, you know, Hiro is supposed to be, well, I mean, the name Hiro, as always, as you can guess, sort of stands for hero, heroic character, which he, you know, eventually becomes in the story. And take it from me, I ain't no hero, you know, I'm just the guy. I'm sitting here drawing pictures all day. So I don't know if I can take any credit for the idea of me being you know, I don't know, that kind of a character that you see in Miki Falls. But thanks for the question. It's sort of interesting to think about that. So let's move on to question number 4. All right, so that is a really great question, and I think to answer it properly, I'm going to have to give it a fair amount of time, probably more time than I gave to the other questions. The most difficult period of my life. Well, believe it or not, many of you actually witnessed that period, although I was not talking about it very much, and that was the period of time after the end of Miki Falls and before the beginning of Brody's Ghost. There was a period of time there, about a year or two, during which I was having trouble getting Brody's Ghost published. And all the Miki Falls work was done, and I didn't really have anything on my table in terms of the next project. And let me tell you, when you're self-employed, that is a scary, scary place to be. You know, it's sort of like, well, my one big job is finished. I haven't found the next one. And as an artist, as a writer, so much of my identity was sort of built upon this idea of having a book deal, having some project that I'm working on. And for a while there, I did not have that. And man, it was tough. And let me tell you, just, you know, as a way of having some of you benefit from my experience, I would say the one thing I learned from that, don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up, because boy, did I ever do that. You know, I felt it was all my fault. Miki Falls wasn't good enough. You know, it hadn't sold enough copies, and that's why I couldn't get a new publisher. And you know, you got to cut yourself some slack. At least that was what I needed to do. It really was a pretty dark period there, during which I was wondering, am I in the right career? Do I have what it takes to keep doing this? And happily, I managed to get Brody's Ghost published with Dark Horse, and I'm back on track now, and you know, it's 6 books in that series altogether, and I'm on book 3, so I have, you know, a good long road ahead of me in terms of that. But that's, you know, that's one of the tricky things about being a self-employed person. You go from job to job. It's not always steady. There are ups and downs. It can be very much a roller coaster ride, and you just have to brace yourself for that. But I have no regrets. I'm always glad, looking back, that I chose to chase the dream and do what I feel like I was really put on this earth to do, which is to draw and write and tell stories. And so, as tough as it has been at certain points, and it certainly was during that period, I really have no regrets. And anyone else out there who has that dream, I'm here to tell you, go for it. Go for it. Don't give up on your dream without even trying, because that's guaranteed failure, right? If you don't even try, you got to at least try. So thanks for that question, and let's move on to question number 5. All right, so this is a good question, and I think a lot of people have sort of wondered this at one time or another. Are there people that simply cannot draw? And no matter how hard they try, they will never be able to draw? That's an interesting question, and my answer is kind of between the two extremes. I said, you know, I think the one side would be to just simply say, yes, there are some people who just will never, ever have it. You know what I mean? Some people would talk that way. Then the other people, it would be kind of like that chef in Ratatouille. Do you remember him? Everyone can cook, and say yes, everyone can draw, everyone can do it. And it's sort of interesting, you know, that you sort of laugh when you think about Ratatouille as an example, but that movie is actually sort of struggling with this question a little bit. And I think the answer that movie provides is maybe something that I agree with, and that is, yes, everyone can cook, as they say, but not everyone can be a master chef. So my feeling is everyone can draw in some way, in some style, if they want to badly enough. But can everyone be a master? Can everyone draw in any style that they want to learn, just so long as they try really hard? Well, no, I don't think that is the case. Certain styles, like hyper-realism and so forth, require a certain kind of talent that you are maybe born with to some degree. But I would say that I probably lean a little more toward that Chef Gusteau approach. I'm pushing this whole thing a little too hard, but I lean a little towards that idea that yes, everyone who wants to draw and tries hard enough will be able to become good at least at some form of drawing. I think the thing is you may need to accept that you're not going to necessarily get good at that one golden style that you are trying to acquire. You may have to settle for something that's a little simpler, maybe a little more cartoony. But look, for example, at The Simpsons. Okay, or Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Okay, these drawings are not maybe the most amazing drawings that anyone has ever seen, but those properties are among the most successful of the last 30 years or so. And it's not because of the drawing, although I think those drawing styles are very distinctive. I think the writing and the creativity and all of that stuff comes together. So I would say if you are frustrated with the fact that you cannot draw in a highly detailed or highly realistic way, I would say, definitely keep trying. You may have what it takes to eventually acquire that style, but if it's driving you nuts, you might have to accept some level of compromise, and I have the same thing. There are aspects, styles, types of drawing that don't come naturally to me. My sense of anatomy, it's always a struggle. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wildly wrong, and it kind of kills me. But that I don't give up. I just keep trying. Just keep plugging away at it. Do the best you can, and your various styles will be uniquely your own, no matter what. And that's really maybe the best you can hope for. And you may be surprised. You may find in the end that it's your writing that is the thing you are the best at, or your humor, or whatever it may be. So I hope that helps. Let's finally move on to the last question, which is the simplest of them all, just to wrap things up. Yes, indeed. I'm so glad you asked me that. I do have a Twitter. It's twitter.com/MarkCrilley, all one word, just like I do here on YouTube. That is the best way, in fact, to get in touch with me. I have more than 400,000 YouTube subscribers now, so my YouTube message inbox is just a flood of messages, and it's just almost impossible. I do my best to sometimes dive in there and respond. But if you really want to get a reply from me, you must join the few, the proud, the brave Twitter followers. I consider those the people who I can reply to almost every time, maybe not every single time that I hear from someone, but I really try my best to reply to all of those. So if you're one of those ones who has a question for me or whatever, or you sort of like the idea of actually getting a real reply from me, your best shot at getting that is by following me on Twitter. Well, that's probably it for now. I really greatly appreciate all of the questions I got. I'm sorry I couldn't get to more than just 5 or 6 of them there, but periodically I'll be doing more of these. In fact, I hope to do these more often, these message type videos. But let's go ahead and lay down the pen. I want to thank you all for asking the questions. for supporting me and leaving comments and all that good stuff. I really greatly appreciate your support. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with another one real soon.